was happy to present Justin Bieber with the Diamond Jubilee Medal today. He wrote on his Twitter, along with a photo of him shaking Bieber's hand. On Bieber's side of Twitter things during the same time frame there, he tweeted a photo of his outfit and wrote, quote unquote, "I hope you hate my style." Okay, this was just 3 or 4 minutes before going to meet the Prime Minister. So that right there says to me there's a little bit of forethought there. There's a little bit of slap in the face. I guess maybe he's trying the bad boy image now that he's almost old enough to drive. Oh, wait, he is almost old enough to drive. He just doesn't look like it yet. He also tweeted after that, "Overalls, LOL." Okay. Apparently, later he explained that his unusual choice of outfit was simply down to circumstances. The pic of me and the Prime Minister was taken in a room in the arena where I was performing that day. I walked straight from my meet and greet to him. Okay. So you're in a hockey arena. It's still the Prime Minister. Who is important to you, Biebs? Is it your mom? You know, if you were meeting your mom in a room in a hockey rink, would you dress up for her? No, you wouldn't, of course, because if mom had actually taught you any responsibility, manners, couth, or indeed fashion, you wouldn't have looked like that to meet the plumber, who would likely these days have looked much like you did. Yeah. Anyhow, apparently the Prime Minister didn't have a problem with this, saying that, it was wonderful to meet Justin and blah, 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 yada, yada. Yeah, the usual crap. The usual stuff that his PR office puts out is what the Prime Minister said, so that's kind of irrelevant. What is kind of relevant, though, is Bieber's side of things, because, the kid's just not that smart to say some of the things that he says, number one, apparently. And two, I don't really believe that man even goes on Twitter. That's a staffer. Those are his image people. It's not him. Idiots. Anyway, the white trash prince. Yeah, there he is. We're going to go for a quick 2-minute break, and when we come back, I'm going to divulge my conspiracy theory. Yes, about that white trash prince. I'm going to lay it all on the table for you, the Crash Talk listener, to decide. Back in 2.
When you're under fire, when there is no hope, when all other possible solutions have been exhausted, when it comes down to just you saving the Earth from the alien extermination of the human race, don't trust any gear. Trust Logitech Game Gear. Only you and Logitech can save the planet.
Logitech.com.
Kimber Firearms. Quality without compromise. Kimber measures success by product quality and customer satisfaction, not sales volume or market share. After all, if you trust a Kimber for protection, carry one hunting, or shoot one in competition, quality is everything. That mindset comes naturally. From the top down, Kimber is made up of dedicated shooters and hunters who insist that their guns be the best. Kimber quality has led to unprecedented demand. Organizations like the USA Shooting Team, LAPD SWAT, and United States Marines assigned to Central Command chose Kimber. American shooters did too, in a big way, and Kimber has become the world's largest producer of 1911 pistols. From Alaska to Africa, hunters have relied on Kimber rifles to take the trophy of a lifetime. At Kimber, quality will always be paramount and the true measure of success. This ensures that Kimber will continue to be the first choice of America's best shooters. We invite you to visit our website and come see for yourself. www.kimberamerica.com.
Is the moment right, but you're not? At your age, you know enough about what it is you really want. You don't need no guidance. But if you suffer from erectile dysfunction, maybe now is the time to talk to your doctor. Be ready the next time the moment is right. Don't take chances with what's in your pantses. Viagra, the most trusted name when it comes to getting the job done. Do not drive your Camaro while taking Viagra, as it may affect your ability to see or hear.
Ah, that's right, gang. We are back in black. All right. Oh, it's so good to hear good music, isn't it? Yep. Okay, all right, I'm going. Okay. That's my producer kicking my butt, getting me back on the air. Okay, well, anyway, you are listening to, of course, Crash Talk on HTLA Radio 1. Part 2 of today's show, Bieber Twinkies. We're on the Bieber part of that, of course. We started with the wholesome, creamy filling in Part 1. So if you haven't had a chance to listen to that, go listen to that. Highly recommend it. It's way better than Howard Stern show. Yeah. Anyway, it was nice to go for that little break, get a little stretch, have another cigarette, because I'm just a smoking whore. But what's that song by that other guy? That's My Prerogative or something? I don't know. Anyway, we are back live in the studio here in New York City. Beautiful, sunny New York City, I might add, today. And we're breaking down the Biebs. We are kind of holding the branding iron up to that little kid's butt, kind of leaning in on the horn there a little bit and waiting for that sweet smell of burning flesh, aren't we? Yeah, I know Howard Stern is, because he lives for that. Anyway, the Biebs goes in, meets the Prime Minister, gets his lame-ass award that, 60,000 other Canadians get this year. Well, what does that matter? You know, some of his PR people have been defending him in the press by stating things like, well, you know, it's not anything, you know, hugely prestigious. It's you know, something that 60,000 other Canadians will get this year. Wrong. Wrong. I think it's time to put some of those press people that work for Bieber's camp there into Guantanamo Bay. Now, you see, I won't put Howard Stern in Guantanamo Bay because I, unlike so many others, actually learned some things from the Holocaust. Yeah. Wow, I really got to get off Howard Stern. I'm sorry, folks. It's just, maybe that'll be the next Crash Talk. We'll go Howard Stern hunting. It'll be fun. We'll go hunting. But back to Bieber. Mm-hmm. Yeah, his people are trying to defend him. 60,000 other Canadians will get this award this year. What does that have to do with anything? You know, when I'm going for a job interview, hell, I'm not even going to shoot for those dreams of assistant manager of a McDonald's. I'm just going to go just a crew person at McDonald's. You know, I dress up for an interview. It's putting out your best foot. It's I don't know, what's the word? Geez. Having a little respect for yourself as well as any of the people you might meet today. You know, that's why people, when they get dressed, they look in the mirror and go, yeah, this is nice, this is presentable, this is something I'm going to put out there. I'm going to put that forth. I'm happy with the way I look, and I'm happy with who I'm going to meet today. And they're going to be happy with me because, damn it, I look good. It doesn't matter if you're thin, fat, doesn't matter. Good looking, ugly, doesn't matter. It's the time you take in your appearance, period. That's what it is. And I don't think they teach that in schools anymore, along with anything about World War II, because that's just not important anymore, is it? You know, it is important. That's why there's such a media uproar globally. It's not just because you're Justin Bieber. It's because you're Justin Bieber and you did what? That's what it is. What did you wore what? He looks like he's there to you know, keep the grounds at you know, the Capitol in Ottawa there or something. He looks like a greenskeeper, you know? How many $1 billion does this kid make globally every year? He could buy Hostess in a blink, and he looks like that. Now, there's a lot of you probably sitting out there saying, "That's it, Crash Talk. I'm gonna write you little SOB. I'm gonna write Crash at htla973.com. I'm gonna tell you exactly what I think of you." Yeah, you're probably out there saying that because you love the Biebs and you think that he looks great and etc. etc. You probably are, and great. I'm happy for you, but the bottom line is, it takes 10 to 15 minutes to throw on a suit. Really, it's not that hard. It's he says, "Oh, it was a surprise thing. I didn't know about this." Well, that's BS too, because if you look at the Prime Minister's schedule, there's a good several months in advance. His stuff is pretty penned in, so they specifically planned to meet in this town at this hockey rink on this particular tour, because if the Biebs is in Sweden, the Prime Minister can't just kind of drop in. No, he's got other shit he's got to do too, and gee, dare I say, it might be more important. Yeah, I know, calm down. It's only Canada. They've only got 30 million people. They don't count. I got it. I hear you. Okay, American audience, I'm with you. I get all that. But you can't tell me this wasn't scheduled months in advance. You can't tell me this kid didn't know. You can't tell me his handlers were surprised. And you can't give me this kind of excuse that, it was a last-minute thing, and he had just come from a meet and greet, and he's supposed to look like this little punk-ass bitch, and then we just had to meet the Prime Minister. You know what? I think the PM would have waited an extra 8 to 12 minutes for him to throw on something a little more acceptable. After all, isn't he Prince Bieber? You can't have it both ways. Either you're this little do-nothing scumbag who maybe that's all the clothes you could afford, although those clothes are probably ridiculously overpriced, and he probably spent about $10,000 to look that bad. Or it's the other end. You know what? You are a prince. Well, gee, let's look at princes around the world, shall we? And no, I'm not talking about the ones on Facebook. Oh, no. No, because the Prince of Namibia, I know where he was that day. Yeah, he was on Facebook sending me my birthday card. Okay, so count his ass out. No. If Justin Bieber is the prince, then the prince has responsibilities. And his handlers, his people, his PR people, his mom, all of these people would be aware of proper etiquette. And proper etiquette would dictate that when you meet the head of state of any country, I don't care if it's the Netherlands, there's a level of respect that goes along with that. And if you don't know anything about the Netherlands, or Namibia, or Norway, or Kuwait, it doesn't matter. You still show them respect. They're the head of their country, period. And in this case, even more so, because this guy's the head of Bieber's country. Yes. He's Canadian. Like Pam Anderson. And Shannon Tweed. And, goddammit, Captain Kirk. Did they wear crappy old overalls to go meet the head of state? No, they didn't. You know why? Well, because they're all 30 and 40 and 50 years old, and they understand things like respect, which we don't anymore. Anyway, I'm gonna close out the show here now, coming up in a few minutes here, and before I do that, I'm going to give you my conspiracy theory. Oh, yes. Yes, and it's based on a lot of different facts from across a lot of different boards, and as soon as I say this, you're going to be like, why didn't I think of that? Of course. They tout him the prince. Oh, yeah. The prince of pop. The white trash prince. It doesn't really matter if you read a headline for him or against him. There's always prince in there. And no, not the artist formerly known as. No, they keep saying things like Prince. Well, That denotes royalty, does it not? Yep. And let's see, he's a prince of what? He's a prince of pop, he's a prince of music, prince of darkness. Yeah, more likely the